just sort of on our way to the lions, everybody, and then we stopped here, and these wildebeest looked like they were going to cross, and now they don't. But look how many there are. It's still a wonderful sight, even if they aren't going to come leaping down to the water's edge. And one of the reasons they aren't going to come leaping down to the water's edge we'll show you just now, but let's just watch that amazing herd walking off. They're moving, you know, they go running into the bush, and they sometimes turn around and come herring back again. So let's sit here for a little while and see. I think it'll be worth us just waiting here for a little while to see what's going to happen. They've stopped at the top. I can see two or three of them stopped. Sometimes they turn around and come back. Yeah, one or two of them have turned. They're very unpredictable fellows, these. One more coming down, and that's one of the reasons they're very reticent to come. That's a particularly stupid crocodile. He can't understand why his meal isn't walking straight into his jaws. He has not realized that he needs to hide underneath the water if he wants the wildebeest to cross. Chandra off to the left, and he especially doesn't want to open his mouth like that, because that's just really telling them a story they don't want to know.
On the left, James?
Just on the left there, in that gap in the bushes there, you can see them turning around and coming back this way. They're coming sort of streaming back now. There we are. So we might be lucky. Oh, here we go. Now Graham Wallington and Peter Bratt, in their eminent statistical wisdom, have come up with a term called the mean wildebeest, which to those of you who are not statistically minded means the sort of average movement of the wildebeest. And in this case, the mean wildebeest is now moving back towards the water. You see, they're deeply indecisive creatures. This is why no one knows if and when they're ever going to cross. I'm having a bit of a giggle because I've just turned to the left where there is an enormous truck parked, and out of it is probably about $7 million worth of lens equipment pointing at these wildebeest, hoping desperately that they're going to cross. They make this lens I'm carrying here look like a small pea shooter. Isn't this beautiful? Even if they don't cross, what a story. This is what happens day in and day out here. These wildebeest think about crossing, then they think about not crossing, then they think about crossing again, and then they think about not crossing again. All the while, the gormless crocodile sits there with his mouth open as if to say, "Come, why aren't you climbing into my mouth? I'm hungry." And the three-banded plover walks past the front of him thinking, what an absolute twit. That isn't a three-banded plover at all. It might be a bird we haven't seen before. Let me address it with my binoculars. The skies are turning grey, everyone, which bodes well for lion hunting. Doesn't bode well for Chandre's pneumonia. But you know, Chandre's a tough fellow. I think that's a sandpipe, everyone, not a three-banded plover that was there. There, they're moving off to the left now, Chandri, way off to the left there. They're on the run. Oh, wonderful to see them run. Shamsan, you want to know if crocodiles have a family structure? No, not really. The females sometimes live in smallish groups, but no, it's not very kind of definite, and they're quite territorial about their little patch of river, especially if the females have laid eggs there. We're going to give these chaps 2 more minutes, and if they keep going that direction, there's a bull you can see there. That's the bird, everyone. Ah, very nice, Chandra. They've got 2 minutes to turn around. Aaron, you want to know what the chances of seeing a glossy ibis in the Mara are? Apparently not too bad. I haven't seen one here yet, but we might be lucky while we're here. One wildebeest here, the mean wildebeest, now turning back around. The last wildebeest, that's the outlier wildebeest, that's called Malcolm Gladwell, and the others through the gap there thinking about coming back. So Aaron, I'm just checking the map here. Yes, the glossy ibis does occur here, I am correct, but I haven't seen one since we've been here. We're going to have to make a move towards those lions, I think. Otherwise we're going to miss them. But let's just spend another 2 minutes or so here. And while we do that, I just have to ask Jean-Andre to show you this unbelievable sight there of a glorious scene and a giraffe tipple kerchie crossing over the plains and a rainbow. A very faint one. In fact, I'm hallucinating. There isn't one. Shamsun, you want to know if it's good to be in the middle, the back or the front of a herd of crossing wildebeest? I'd say it's by far best to be in the middle of a herd of crossing wildebeest, otherwise you're likely to get noshed. No one wants to be noshed by a crocodile, Shamsun. Horrid way to go, I'm told.